Before we dive in, let me tell you this. My mother organized a family dinner with 27 relatives just to humiliate me. She ripped my childhood photos off the wall and threw them in the trash while screaming I was a leech. My father demanded I pay back every cent they spent raising me. My sister physically shoved me out the door while the entire family cheered. I walked away in silence. 7 days later, my phone exploded with 40 messages from Dad at 5 in the morning, 20 missed calls from my sister, and a single text from Mom that said, "Please give us one chance." What happened in those 7 days? Stay until the end because what I'm about to tell you will make you question everything you thought you knew about family loyalty. And if you're enjoying this story, hit that subscribe button now. You won't want to miss what happens next. The morning of the dinner, I should have known something was wrong. Mom called me 3 times to confirm I was coming, which was unusual because she normally just expected me to show up. Her voice had this edge to it, like she was excited about something but trying to hide it. I told her I'd be there at 6 sharp, just like she asked. I even stopped at the bakery and picked up her favorite lemon tart, the expensive one from that place downtown that she always talked about but said was too pricey. When I pulled up to my childhood home, the driveway was packed. Cars lined both sides of the street. I recognized Uncle Raymond's truck, Aunt Gloria's sedan, my cousins, vehicles. Practically the entire extended family was there. 27 people I counted later. 27 people who had watched me grow up, who came to my birthday parties, who I thought knew me. I walked in holding that lemon tart like an idiot, smiling because I genuinely thought this was going to be a nice family gathering. Maybe Mom's birthday. Had I forgotten something important? But no, her birthday wasn't for 3 months. The living room went quiet when I stepped through the door. Not the good kind of quiet where people are happy to see you. The uncomfortable kind where everyone's been talking about you and suddenly you walk into the room. 27 pairs of eyes locked onto me. My cousin Jessica, who I used to play dolls with when we were kids, looked away quickly. Uncle Raymond actually smirked. "There she is," my mother said, standing in the center of the room like she was holding court. "The guest of honor finally arrives." Something in her tone made my stomach drop, but I pushed the feeling aside. "Hi, Mom. I brought your favorite." "Put it down," she cut me off. "We need to talk, all of us, as a family." I set the tart on the entry table and walked into the living room. Nobody offered me a seat, even though there were a few empty chairs. I stood there awkwardly while everyone stared. My dad was sitting in his recliner, arms crossed, jaw tight. My sister Vanessa was perched on the armrest beside him, and she had this look on her face, triumphant, almost gleeful. "Do you know why I called everyone here today?" Mom asked. She wasn't even looking at me. She was looking at the relatives, her audience. "I'm not sure," I said quietly. "I called everyone here because I'm tired. We're all tired. Tired of pretending. Tired of enabling. Tired of watching you take and take and take from this family without ever giving anything back." The room was so silent, I could hear the clock ticking in the kitchen. "Mom, what are you talking about?" She laughed, actually laughed. "What am I talking about? Let me spell it out for you since you seem to have selective memory. We paid for your entire college education. 4 years. Do you know what that cost us? $68,000. Your father worked overtime for 3 years straight to make sure you could go to that school you wanted." "I know, and I've always been grateful." "Grateful?" Vanessa interrupted, standing up. "You've never once paid them back, not a single dollar." My face got hot. "You didn't pay them back either. Nobody said we had to." "I visit them every week," Vanessa shot back. "I help Dad with the yard work. I take Mom to her appointments. I contribute to this family. What do? You show up twice a year with some cheap dessert and think that makes up for everything." "That's not fair." "Fair," Dad finally spoke, his voice low and dangerous. "You want to talk about fair? I pulled doubles at the plant so you could have a car in college. I destroyed my back, spent thousands on medical bills, and you never once asked how I was doing. You just took the car and drove off to your fancy life." "I didn't know it was that bad," I whispered. "You never told me." "We shouldn't have to tell you." Mom's voice rose to a shout. "A decent daughter would notice. A decent daughter would care." I looked around the room desperately, hoping anyone would defend me. Aunt Gloria, who used to braid my hair during family barbecues. Cousin Marcus, who I helped with his homework for an entire summer. Uncle Raymond, who taught me how to change a tire when I was 16. They all looked away. For 29 years, Mom continued, her voice shaking with rage, we have given you everything. We fed you, clothed you, educated you, supported you through every single decision you made, even the stupid ones. And what have you given back? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's not true, I said, tears starting to burn in my eyes. I send you both money every Christmas. I helped pay for Vanessa's wedding. $200 for my wedding, Vanessa scoffed. Our parents spent $15,000 on your college graduation party. You gave me $200 for my wedding. That was all I could afford at the time. I had just started my job. Excuses, Dad said. Always excuses with you. Mom walked over to the wall where my childhood photos hung in a neat row. My first day of kindergarten, my middle school graduation, my prom picture. She started taking them down one by one, her hands shaking. Mom, what are you doing? She didn't answer. She just kept pulling pictures off the wall. Then she walked to the kitchen, grabbed the trash can, and came back. I watched in horror as she dropped the first frame into the garbage. Glass shattered. Then the second. Then the third. You want to know what you are? She said, her voice eerily calm now as she destroyed every photo of me in that house. You're a leech. You've sucked this family dry for 3 decades, and I'm done. We're all done. Mom, please. Pay back everything we spent RAISINGU, she screamed, whirling around to face me. Her face was red, spit flying from her mouth. What a waste! What a complete waste of money and time and love. Dad stood up from his chair. I want an itemized repayment plan. Education, food, housing, transportation, medical expenses, everything. You have 30 days to present it. Or you're no longer welcome in this family. The room erupted. Every single relative started piling on. Aunt Gloria called me selfish. Uncle Raymond said I was ungrateful. Cousin Marcus, who I tutored for free, said I always acted like I was better than everyone. Cousin Jessica said I was fake, that she never liked me. On and on it went, a chorus of voices attacking me from every direction. I couldn't breathe. The walls felt like they were closing in. Vanessa got up, walked over to me, and actually put her hands on my shoulders. For a second, I thought she was going to hug me, to be the only person in this nightmare who still cared. Instead, she shoved me hard toward the door. Get out, she hissed. Nobody wants you here. I stumbled backward, catching myself on the doorframe. The entire family was standing now, a wall of angry faces. My mother held the trash can full of broken frames and shattered glass. I didn't say a word. What could I say? They'd already decided who I was. Nothing I said would change their minds. So I turned around, walked to my car, and drove away while 27 people who shared my blood celebrated my exile. The first 3 days after were the worst. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I called in sick to work because I couldn't stop crying long enough to function. My phone stayed silent. Not one person from that dinner reached out to check if I was okay. Not one. On day 4, I got angry. Really, truly angry. I started going through my records, my bank statements, every receipt I'd saved over the years. If they wanted an itemized list, I'd give them one, but not the one they expected. I created a spreadsheet. It took me 11 hours, but I documented everything. Every time I babysat Vanessa's kids for free 23 times over 5 years, at least $50 per session. Every time I loaned Dad money that was never repaid, $4,000 total. Every time I bought groceries for family dinners, estimated $3,000 over the years. Every time I fixed Mom's computer, designed Vanessa's wedding invitations, helped Uncle Raymond move, drove Aunt Gloria to the airport. The number came to $47,680. Money I'd given, services I'd provided, all of it freely, all of it out of love. If you're hooked on this story, make sure you hit that like button right now. This is about to get intense. On day 5, I made copies of everything. Bank transfers, Venmo receipts, text messages confirming the loans, emails where family members asked for favors. I organized it all into a folder, neat and professional. On day 6, I wrote a letter. I rewrote it 11 times before I got it right. It was 2 pages long, single-spaced, no emotion, just facts. A timeline of my contributions to the family. A breakdown of the financial support I'd provided. A list of every major life event of mine. They'd missed my promotion 3 years ago, my hospitalization for appendicitis, my 30th birthday last month that not one of them acknowledged. On day 7, I mailed 27 copies, one to every person who'd been in that room. I didn't expect what happened next. Dad's messages started at 5:03 a.m. on day 8. The notification sounds woke me up. I grabbed my phone with bleary eyes and saw his name lighting up my screen over and over. "We need to talk. Call me immediately. This is important. Your mother is very upset." They kept coming. By the time I fully woke up at 7, there were 40 messages from him. Most of them were variations of "call me back" and "we need to discuss this." But a few were different. "I didn't realize you paid me back that money. I thought that was a gift. Your mother says some of these dates don't match what she remembers. This is causing a lot of problems. Call me." I didn't call. My sister started around 7:30. 20 missed calls between 7:30 and 9. She left voicemails. The first 3 were angry, calling me manipulative, saying I'd twisted everything. The 4th one, though her voice cracked, by the 7th voicemail she was crying. "Why didn't you tell us you were in the hospital? We would have come. You should have told us." Mom's text came at 10:14 a.m. "Please give us one chance." I stared at those 5 words for a long time. One chance. Like they'd given me one chance when they threw me out in front of 27 people. One chance, like the opportunity to defend myself before they destroyed my photos and called me a leech. The messages kept coming all day. Aunt Gloria said she didn't realize I driven her to the airport all those times she thought Dad had done it. Cousin Marcus sent a long apology, saying he'd only spoken up at the dinner because everyone else was and he felt pressured. Uncle Raymond's message was short. "I'm sorry, I was wrong." My phone rang at 4:47 p.m. Mom's number. I didn't answer. She called again at 5:12 p.m. At 6:30 p.m. At 8:05 p.m. Finally, at 9:33 p.m., she left a voicemail. "Baby," her voice was wrecked, hoarse from crying. "Baby, please pick up. I know I hurt you. I know I said terrible things, but we need to talk about this. That letter you sent, there's so much I didn't know, so much your father and I didn't see. Please just give me a chance to explain, to apologize properly. We love you. We do. I know I have a horrible way of showing it, but I love you so much and I can't bear the thought of you hating us. Please, call me back, please." I listened to that voicemail 4 times. Day 9, I got a letter in the mail. Handwritten, 6 pages long, from my father. His handwriting was shaky. He'd never been good at writing, always preferred to say things out loud. But he'd written 6 full pages. He apologized for his back, said he'd never blamed me for the overtime, that he'd wanted to work those hours to give me opportunities he never had. He admitted that when his back started hurting, he'd taken out his pain and frustration on me in small ways over the years, little digs and criticisms that he thought were just jokes. He said reading my timeline of events was like looking at our family through my eyes for the first time, and he was ashamed of what he saw. He ended the letter with, "I'm sorry I didn't protect you at that dinner. I'm sorry I let your mother tear you down. I'm sorry I joined in. You deserved better from me. You deserved better from all of us. I hope you can forgive me someday, but I'll understand if you can't." Day 10, Vanessa showed up at my apartment. I saw her through the peephole, standing in the hallway holding a bouquet of flowers. She knocked softly. I didn't open the door. "I know you're in there," she said to the closed door. "Your car, outside. I need to say this, okay? Even if you don't let me in, I've been jealous of you our entire lives. Mom and Dad used to talk about you constantly, how smart you were, how ambitious, how you were going to do something important with your life. And I know that sounds stupid because they just threw you out, but that's exactly why they did it. You were living your own life, separate from them, and they couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it. So when Mom started planning that dinner, when she said she was going to put you in your place, I helped her. I gave her examples of all the ways you weren't there for them. I told her about the hospital thing even though I know you didn't tell us because you didn't want us to worry. I sabotaged you because I was jealous, and I'm so sorry. She waited for 5 minutes. When I didn't open the door, she left the flowers on my doormat and walked away. Day 11, I got a group email. Every single relative from that dinner was CC'd. Mom had written it. 3 pages detailing every contribution I'd made to the family, every sacrifice, every act of love and generosity. She attached my spreadsheet. She wrote, I asked all of you to come to that dinner because I was angry at my daughter for living her life instead of living the life I wanted for her. I weaponized this family against her. I made you all complicit in my cruelty. And now I'm asking you to be complicit in my apology. She doesn't owe us anything. She never did. We owe her. We owe her recognition, appreciation, and a sincere apology. If you agree, please reach out to her individually. If you don't agree, please remove yourself from this family email chain, because I don't want people in my life who can't acknowledge when they've done wrong. 23 people responded within the hour. 4 didn't respond at all. Day 12, I finally listened to all of Vanessa's voicemails. In one of them, she admitted that Mom had been planning the dinner for 2 months. She sent out a group text to all the relatives titled Truth About Sarah, where she'd compiled a list of grievances, things I'd supposedly done or not done over the years. Most of them were exaggerated or taken completely out of context. Some were outright lies. Vanessa said she'd contributed to that list. She said Mom had wanted to teach me a lesson about family loyalty. The lesson had backfired spectacularly. Day 13, Dad showed up at my work. Security called me down to the lobby because he wouldn't leave until he talked to me. I found him sitting in one of the chairs, looking smaller than I'd ever seen him look. His shoulders were hunched. His hands were shaking. I can't sleep, he said when I walked over. I keep seeing your face when your mother threw those pictures away. I keep hearing my own voice telling you to pay us back for raising you. What kind of father says that? What kind of man tells his daughter she was a waste? I didn't say anything. You don't have to forgive me, he continued. But I need you to know that I see it now. I see what we did, and it's eating me alive. You should go, I told him quietly. I'm at work. He nodded, stood up, and left without another word. Day 14, 2 weeks after the dinner, I finally called my mother. She answered on the first ring. Sarah, I got your email, I said. She started crying immediately. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't even know why I did it. I was angry about something stupid, about you not coming to Sunday dinner last month, and I let it spiral. I convinced myself you didn't care about us, and then I convinced everyone else. You didn't convince yourself, I said. You wanted to hurt me, admit it. There was a long pause. Then, you're right, I wanted to hurt you. You've built this life that doesn't revolve around us, and I couldn't stand it. I felt like I was losing you, so I decided to push you away completely before you could leave on your own terms. It was cruel and manipulative, and I knew exactly what I was doing. Yeah, I said, you did. Can I see you, please? Let me take you to dinner. Let me try to make this right. I thought about it for a long moment. Thought about those 27 faces, all of them turned against me. Thought about my photos in the trash. Thought about walking out that door in silence because there was nothing left to say. But I also thought about my father's 6-page letter, about Vanessa crying on my voicemail, about Aunt Gloria's text that said, I didn't raise you, but I watched you grow up, and you turned out to be a better person than any of us deserved. One dinner, I said finally. Just you and me. And if you spend the whole time making excuses or trying to explain away what you did, I'm walking out and you won't hear from me again. I won't, she promised. No excuses, I swear. We met 3 days later at a quiet restaurant across town. Mom looked like she'd aged 5 years in 2 weeks. Her eyes were puffy, her hair was grayer than I remembered. She ordered coffee and didn't touch it. I talked to a therapist, she said. After everything, she said I've been using you as an emotional outlet for my own failures. Every time I felt disappointed with my life, I found something about yours to criticize. It made me feel like I still had control, like I still mattered. You do matter, I said quietly. You've always mattered to me. That's why this hurts so much. She reached across the table, stopped herself, pulled her hand back. Can I hug you? I hesitated, then nodded. She came around to my side of the booth and wrapped her arms around me, and she held on like I was going to disappear. She was crying into my shoulder, apologizing over and over, and I just let her. Because underneath all the anger and hurt, she was still my mom, and I still loved her, even if I wasn't sure I liked her very much right now. We're almost at the end, and if this story has kept you watching, do me a favor and drop a comment below telling me what you would have done in my situation. Would you have forgiven them? And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss stories like this. It's been 4 months since the dinner. 4 months since my family tried to destroy me in front of everyone. Things aren't fixed, not even close, but they're different. I have dinner with my parents once a month now, just the 3 of us. We don't talk about the past much. We're trying to build something new instead of repairing something broken. Vanessa and I are slowly working through our issues. She admitted she's been in therapy too, dealing with her jealousy and her role in Mom's plan. She apologized to my face, a real apology, the kind that takes responsibility without adding, but to the end of every sentence. Some of the relatives reached out and genuinely apologized. A few sent gift cards or offered to take me to lunch. I accepted some of those offers. Others I declined. 4 relatives never apologized at all, and I've made peace with the fact that not everyone is capable of accountability. Uncle Raymond paid me back the $900 he owed me from 7 years ago. I didn't ask for it. He just Venmo'd it one day with the note, long overdue. Dad and I went to a baseball game last month. We didn't talk about anything heavy. We just ate hot dogs and watched the game and existed next to each other without all the weight of the past pressing down on us. The photos Mom destroyed, I had copies of most of them in storage, but I haven't put them back up anywhere. Maybe I will someday. Maybe I won't. Those pictures represented a version of our family that never really existed, the version where everyone loved each other unconditionally and no one was keeping score. Now I'm building a new version, one where love is paired with honesty, where I can set boundaries without being called selfish, where my family knows that my presence in their lives is a choice I make every day, not an obligation I'm trapped in. They almost lost me completely, and in a way, they did lose the daughter who would accept anything just to keep the peace. That version of me died in that living room when my mother threw my photos in the trash. The version that walked away is stronger. She knows her worth. She knows that family doesn't mean accepting abuse. She knows that blood relation doesn't give anyone the right to treat you like you're disposable. And most importantly, she knows that walking away, even when it breaks your heart, is sometimes the only way to save yourself. So that's my story, from family outcast to finding myself again. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. Please hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and comment below with your own experiences. Have you ever had to walk away from family? How did you handle it? Let's build a community where we support each other through these tough situations. And remember, you are not what other people say you are. You are what you know yourself to be. Don't forget that.